couple of days ago, I was promoting one of my books on a Facebook group when I ran into something that would shake many writers' confidence. And what I ran into was one of these pro black, back to Africa, red, black, and green Negroes. And he was trying to say to me that in his Facebook response, that there were grammatical errors in the story on the first page and that I should take the book down. And when I really sat down and thought about it, I said to myself, this is an individual who's trying to gaslight me because I had sat down and I had read this book a dozen times and I went over it with different grammatical things and I knew that there was nothing wrong with the book. What was wrong was that this book did not fit this man's narrative. He felt uncomfortable about what the material I was presenting, and he was looking for a way to discourage me. And a writer has to have confidence when they present their work out here because you're going to run into all sorts of individuals who are going to try to discourage you from presenting your work out there. Some, like this pro black, back to Africa, red, black, and green individual I ran into, are very jealous, and what they want to do is try to push you out of the circle and push you off the stage so that you won't present your work. And you have to have the resolve to continue to persevere because the only person who believes in your work is you, and you have to believe in your work more than anyone if you hope to sell your work and share your work with others. And in the literary world, there are a lot of literary elitists, book snobs, and other assorted people who don't like to see other writers who they believe are more talented than they are. So they try to find ways to push you out of the social circle. And some of them will start nitpicking you about the spelling, punctuation, and grammar. Others are going to try to nitpick you about the material and the content that you're presenting. A few will try to attack you based on the viewpoints you are presenting in your material. However, you have to stand tall and believe in what you wrote. You have to stand by what you wrote because you wrote it because this is what you believed in. And you can't let other people discourage you and make you want to not put your work out there. And when I ran into this individual on Facebook, it made me think about, my resolve over the years as a writer. I've had to deal with constant criticism from people, even in my own family, who did not like many of the stories I produced and published. They didn't like some of the viewpoints that I presented. They didn't like some of the opinions I presented. And some of them didn't like some of the ideas that I presented. However, I still went and persevered in spite of people's opinions and published what I wanted to publish because I believed that the work was up to my standard, not to their standard. And when you're a writer, what you create is based on what you want to create, not based on what someone else wants. I mean, the reason why you're writing the story is because it's your view of how things are supposed to be. It's your view of what you believe the story is. It's your story. If this person has an issue with your story, they have an option. They cannot read it and they cannot buy it. That's as simple as that. And a lot of people think that they're going to try to push, a guy like me out of the marketplace, and it's just not going to happen. I have a right to present my viewpoints and my stories the way I want to put them, and I'm the guy I'm writing it the best way I can. If the spelling and punctuation and grammar is not to your standard, then I'm sorry. I did the best that I could. My other readers don't have this problem, and the books are going to stay on the marketplace because I believe they are the best quality I can make them. They are the best quality I can produce based on the limited budget I have, and they are the best that I can do right now. And if you don't like what I'm presenting, again, they have a million, not a hundred other books. They have several million other books on Amazon for you to buy. And I'm not going to sit here and try to debate people about my literature or about my work. And I'm not going to sit here and let people like this pro-black individual try to gaslight me and try to tell me that my work isn't good enough and I should take it off the marketplace. And you as a writer should not let anyone discourage you from trying to pursue your dream of being a writer or trying to write your stories because they are your stories. You have a right to write them any way you feel. You have a right to present your viewpoints. And if the person doesn't like the viewpoints, again, that you present in your stories, they have a right to walk away. And you have a right to just continue writing what you feel is best, and you have to believe in what you wrote. Because the reason why you are sitting in front of that keyboard for hours on end is because you believe in what you're writing, you love what you're writing, you're passionate about what you're writing, and people, again, should not discourage you. Again, there's a difference between constructive criticism and someone just being nasty. Constructive criticism actually helps the writer be better, but people being nasty is about trying to push you off the platform and off the stage. It's because they want to control the stage, they want to control the narrative, and they want to dictate what everyone hears, and they don't want you to come out and have your voice on the stage. And you have a right to have a voice on the stage just as much as they have a right to the stage. And you have a right to express yourself in the way that you feel is best. That's all I have to say for this video. You can pick up any of my books on Amazon.com by clicking a link in the description box. Lots of great fiction there. Many titles starting under $2.99 in ebook format.